We live in an age saturated with desire, yet haunted by a sense of emptiness. We hear whispers of power, often linked to dominance or primal urges. But what if the greatest strength, the true secret weapon for the modern man, lies not in indulging every impulse, but in understanding and mastering the deep currents within? We encounter Carl Jung's ideas and perhaps the term desexualized mind, and we might recoil, imagining a life devoid of passion, of vitality. But we must look deeper. What if desexualized doesn't mean empty, but integrated? What if it means a mind where the immense power of our life force, our libido in the Jungian sense, is no longer blindly driving the ship, but is harnessed, understood, and channeled by a wise captain? This is a journey into the profound connection between Jung's insights into the soul and Stoicism's timeless tools for self-mastery. It's about discovering how understanding your inner fire, rather than being burned by it or trying to extinguish it, can unlock a secret weapon: profound clarity, unwavering purpose, and a quiet, unshakable strength. Within every man, Carl Jung saw a powerful river, a force he called libido. This isn't merely the urge for physical intimacy, but the totality of our psychic energy. The drive that pushes us out of bed in the morning, the passion that fuels our ambitions, the creative spark that yearns to build, to connect, to live. It is the raw, untamed fire of existence itself. Yet, much of this potent energy often flows unseen, diverted into the hidden canyons of our psyche, what Jung termed the shadow. This is the repository for everything we've disowned: our unacceptable desires, our primitive instincts, our fears, our vulnerabilities, the parts of ourselves we hide, even from our own conscious gaze. And here lies the modern man's profound dilemma. We are caught in a crossfire. On one side, a culture screams at us to unleash every impulse, offering endless distractions and instant gratifications that often leave us feeling more empty, more driven by a force we don't comprehend. On the other, we face pressures to repress, to present a sanitized, perfect version of ourselves, pushing the raw energy deeper into the shadows where it festers, growing more volatile. Either path leads to imbalance. The unexamined fire either rages out of control, burning us and those around us, or it smolders deep within, poisoning our well-being with anxiety, depression, or a gnawing sense of inauthenticity. This hidden fire, this shadow-bound libido, becomes the unseen puppeteer, pulling our strings, dictating our reactions, and keeping us from true freedom. To find our secret weapon, we must first have the courage to face this fire, to venture into the shadows, not to be consumed, but to understand its nature. For only what is known can be truly mastered. Facing this hidden fire, this raw libidinal energy and its shadow expressions can feel daunting. The instinct is either to let it burn wildly or to douse it completely. But neither path leads to true strength. Here, the timeless wisdom of the Stoics offers us not a fire extinguisher, but a forge, a place to work with this potent force, to temper it, to shape it into something a master blacksmith would be proud of. The first tool in this forge is the profound understanding of what we control and what we don't. You cannot command the fire not to arise. Desires, fears, and passions will emerge from the depths. But you hold absolute power over your response to them. You control whether you feed the flames with unexamined judgments or whether you observe them with the cool eye of reason. This observation, this unwavering inner gaze, is the Stoic practice of prosoche. It's the ability to watch the shadow stir, to feel the pull of desire, without immediately acting, without immediately judging it as good or bad. You simply see it. This seeing creates a vital space. Within this space, reason becomes your hammer, your inner citadel the anvil. You bring the raw energy into the light and ask, does this align with my values? Does this serve my higher purpose? Is this worthy of a man striving for virtue? This isn't about crushing the fire. It's about building strong channels for it to flow through. It's the process of tempering, applying the heat of awareness and the cool waters of reason again and again, transforming volatile raw power into focused, resilient, and dependable strength. This is the heart of the desexualized mind, not a cold, dead hearth, but a perfectly controlled forge, glowing with power held in wise reserve.
When the inner fire is no longer raging out of control or smoldering in repressed darkness, but burns steadily and brightly within the forge of a disciplined mind, its nature transforms. This contained, directed energy becomes the secret weapon. It manifests not as outward aggression, but as an array of profound inner strengths that quietly reshape your entire existence. The first gift is unwavering clarity. Imagine a mind not constantly hijacked by fleeting desires or haunted by shadow anxieties. It becomes a calm, clear lens through which to see the world and yourself with startling precision. Decisions become less fraught with turmoil, guided by values rather than whims. This clarity naturally breeds unshakable focus. In an era designed to shadow our attention, the ability to direct your mental energy, your prosohe, towards a chosen purpose is perhaps the rarest and most potent advantage. This focused libido becomes the fuel for boundless creativity and purposeful action. It's the energy that allows you to build, to create, to solve problems, to dedicate yourself fully to your work, your relationships, your calling. Furthermore, this inner mastery fosters deep resilience. When your sense of self isn't tied to external validation or the satisfaction of every impulse, the inevitable setbacks and criticisms of life lose their sting. You operate from a core of strength that external storms cannot easily shake. Finally, paradoxically, this internal work allows for more authentic connection. By understanding your own depths, your own shadows, you can meet others with greater empathy and honesty, building relationships founded on truth rather than need. This then is the secret weapon, not a single tool, but a state of being, clear, focused, resilient, creative, and authentic. It is the power that arises when a man truly commands himself. The journey through the forge, the tempering of the inner fire, leads us towards a profound destination, wholeness. Carl Jung called this lifelong process individuation, the courageous journey of becoming fully, authentically you. It means moving beyond the shadow, not by outrunning it or pretending it doesn't exist, but by turning to face it with compassion and understanding. It involves acknowledging the parts of yourself you've disowned, the anger, the fear, the unacceptable desires, and recognizing that they too hold energy, they too hold lessons. The Stoic path provides the container, the strength to do this safely. Your inner citadel, fortified by reason and virtue, allows you to meet these shadow aspects without being consumed by them. You don't become the anger, but you understand its roots. You don't surrender to fear, but you acknowledge its message. This integration, this acceptance of your complete, complex self is the gateway to true Stoic serenity or ataraxia. The inner war ceases. The energy once spent on repression and self-conflict is liberated. You discover that your vulnerabilities don't make you weak, they make you human. You find that your darker side, once understood and guided by wisdom, can be a source of immense power and creativity. The integrated man isn't a flawless statue. He is a living, breathing landscape with mountains, valleys, rivers, and even shadowed caves. But he knows his terrain. He walks it with confidence, governed by a quiet center, a peace that cannot be bought, only earned through the courageous work of self-acceptance. We've journeyed through the depths of the psyche alongside Jung and climbed the Stoic heights of self-mastery with Seneca and Marcus Aurelius as our guides. We've dared to look at the term desexualized mind and redefined it, not as an absence of life, but as the presence of profound awareness, conscious control, and unwavering purpose. We have seen how the hidden fire of our libido, that immense river of life force, when met with courage and tempered in the quiet forge of Stoic practice, doesn't diminish but transforms. It becomes the secret weapon, not an instrument for external warfare or manipulation, but the unshakable foundation for a life rich with inner peace, resilience, and authentic strength. This integrated power, this quiet command over your inner kingdom, is perhaps the most radical, most potent act in our noisy, reactive, and often superficial age. It doesn't need to scream for attention. It earns it through its very stillness, its deep integrity. It doesn't seek dominance over others. It embodies true power through its profound self-possession. This is the invitation, the challenge, and the promise for the modern man: to look within, to do the courageous work, to integrate the shadows, to harness the fire, and to discover with quiet certainty that the greatest power, the truest weapon, has been within you all along. It waits patiently, not to be seized through aggression, but to be claimed through wisdom, virtue,